My name is Maya, and I am 24 years old. Most people my age are looking for big adventures or busy careers in the city, but I have always been a bit different. I am a person who loves peace, old books, and quiet mornings. Last month, I moved to a small village near the coast to start my new job as a local librarian. I thought my life would be simple and predictable. I thought the biggest challenge of my day would be organizing books or helping children find their favorite stories. I was wrong. My story truly began on a rainy Tuesday afternoon when a man I had never seen before walked into the library. He didn't look like the other people in the village. He wore a long gray coat that was soaking wet, and he didn't have an umbrella. He didn't look at the books or the paintings on the walls. He walked straight to my desk, his boots making a heavy sound on the wooden floor. He looked at me with very tired eyes and placed a small wooden box on the counter. He didn't say hello. He only whispered 5 words that changed everything. Please keep this safe for me. Before I could ask him a single question, he turned around and walked back out into the rain. I sat there for a long time, staring at the box. It was beautiful, made of dark wood with small silver flowers carved into the sides. It didn't have a lock, but it felt heavy. I knew I should probably call the police or tell someone, but curiosity is a very strong emotion. I waited until the library closed at 5 p.m. I locked the front door, turned off the lights, and took the box to my small desk in the back. My heart was beating fast. I felt like I was doing something wrong, but I couldn't stop myself. I slowly opened the lid. Inside, there were no gold coins or expensive jewels. Instead, there was a stack of old photographs and a silver key. The photographs were all of the same place, a tall, white house on top of a cliff. I recognized that house. It was called the Silent House, and it had been empty for as long as anyone in the village could remember. But as I looked closer at the photos, I saw something that made me freeze. In every single picture, there was a girl standing by the window. She looked exactly like me. She had the same dark hair, the same smile, and she was wearing a necklace that I was wearing at that very moment, a gift from my grandmother. I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the girl in the window. I felt a connection to that house that I couldn't explain. The next morning, even though it was still raining, I took the silver key and drove my old car up the winding road to the cliff. The wind was blowing hard, and I could hear the waves crashing against the rocks far below. The silent house stood tall and gray against the sky. It looked lonely, just like the man in the library. I walked up to the front door. My hands were shaking as I put the silver key into the lock. It turned perfectly. The door opened with a slow, heavy sound. The air inside smelled of salt and old paper. It was very dark, so I used the flashlight on my phone to see. The furniture was covered in white sheets, making everything look like a ghost. I walked up the stairs, my heart thumping in my chest. I knew exactly which room I was looking for. I went to the end of the hallway and opened the door to the corner bedroom, the room with the window from the photographs. The room was not empty. There was a small table by the window with a vase of dried flowers and a mirror. I walked over to the window and looked out at the sea. For a moment, I felt like I was in the photograph. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, and for a split second, I didn't see myself. I saw the girl from the photo. She looked happy, but her eyes were full of secrets. I realized then that the man in the library wasn't a stranger. He was someone from my past that I had forgotten. I found a letter inside a drawer in the table. It was written in the same elegant handwriting I had seen in my grandmother's old journals. It explained that my family had lived in this house a long time ago. My mother had left the village when I was just a baby to protect me from a family secret. The man in the gray coat was my uncle, and he had been guarding this house and its secrets for 24 years, waiting for me to grow up and return. The box he gave me wasn't just a gift. It was an invitation to find out who I really am. I stayed in the house until the sun began to set. The rain finally stopped, and the sky turned a beautiful shade of orange and pink. I didn't feel afraid anymore. I felt like I had finally found a piece of myself that was missing. I realized that my life in this village wasn't going to be simple or quiet at all. I had a house to fix, a family history to discover, and a story that was only just beginning. I took the box and the key back to my car. As I drove down the hill, I saw the man in the gray coat standing by the side of the road. He didn't wave, but he nodded his head at me. He knew that I understood now. My name is Maya. I am 24 years old, and I am no longer just a librarian. I am the keeper of the silent house, and I am ready to find out what happens next. If you ever visit my village, look for the white house on the cliff. I'll be there, writing the next chapter of my life.